This is the story of the tragic death of Charles William Miller, a beloved friend and prominent member of the 1970s American band War. As we unravel the story of Charles Miller, we will uncover the circumstances surrounding his death and the enduring impact he left on the world of music as one of the founding members of the iconic band. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this episode of What Happened. Born in Olathe, Kansas, Charles and his family moved to Los Angeles 2 years after his birth. Eventually, they would settle in Long Beach with a life filled with music influenced by his father, a musician who collaborated with the esteemed organist Paul Bryant. From a young age, he had a deep passion for music, playing woodwinds, piano, and guitar in school bands and orchestras. His primary interest was football until 1967, while attending Long Beach City College, sustained a major injury, shifting his priority to music. That decision will set the stage for his dynamic and unforgettable career. On his journey to establishing himself in the music industry, he soon found himself in rooms with other notable artists, participating in recording sessions with the likes of the Ray Charles Band, and in live performances touring with the Debonaires, Britton Woods, Senor Soul, and Afro Blues Quintet Plus One. Around 1967, while in Hollywood at the first studio instrument rentals, he met Harold Brown practicing with Howard E. Scott of the group Creators, and soon became a member of the group. Later, Lee Oscar and Papa D. Allen would join the group, and in 1968, they changed their name from the Creators to Night Shift, which was chosen because Brown worked nights at a steel yard. The addition of Lee Oscar to the band would help to form their distinct sound with a blend of Allen's saxophone and Lee's harp. The band's love of diverse styles of music was evident by their shared experiences living in the racially mixed Los Angeles ghettos. The messages in their music were to promote brotherhood and to speak out against racism, gangs, hunger, and crime. In 1969, while performing at the Ragdoll in North Hollywood, Eric Burton was introduced to the group, and together they formed Eric Burton and War. They immediately began to tour Southern California, performing to sold-out audiences, and later toured extensively across Europe and the United States. One of his most popular performances was at Ronnie Scott's Club in London on September 16, 1970. It was the last public performance for Jimi Hendrix, who joined the band on stage for their last 35 minutes of the second set. The very next day, Jimi Hendrix was found dead in his hotel room. It was a bittersweet moment for the group, an unforgettable time in the history of the band. As the group continued their European tour, Eric Burton will eventually bail on the group, and at the conclusion of the tour, they reconvened to record their first album under the new name War, dropping Eric Burton from the title. Known for their eclectic sound, which incorporated jazz, Latin, funk, and soul, Charles played several instruments including saxophone, flute, and was a lead vocalist in the band. His deep voice is heard on the classic war song Lowrider and is credited as one of the initial songwriters. Recorded at Wally Heider Studios in San Francisco, California in 1975, it had been sampled by many artists including Flo Rida and heard in movies like Beverly Hills Chihuahua and TV shows like George Lopez. He also recorded other popular songs such as All Day Music, which was the group's first hit single, and Cisco Kid, all of which continues to be sampled until this day. The group would continue to tour and perform throughout the late 1970s. Despite their success, internal conflicts led to lawsuits and disagreements over royalties, publishing, the band name, and song rights. Due to their ongoing differences, Charles Miller will eventually leave the group in 1980. Many of the lawsuits involve the band's former manager and producer Jerry Goldstein and will be ongoing for years. Tragically, on June 4, 1980, just 2 weeks before his 41st birthday, Charles was fatally stabbed during a botched street robbery in Los Angeles. His death sent shockwaves throughout the industry, and unfortunately, no arrests were ever made. His case remains unsolved. Charles William Miller left behind a rich musical legacy as a vital member of the group War. At the time of his death, he lived in Hollywood with his wife Edie Miller and their 4 children, Annette, Lorianne, Donald, and Mark. It is also said that he had a son named Joseph Charles Newton with a woman named Camille Jones. Though the mystery of his unsolved case remains, his legacy lives on in the music he created as a decades-long member of the group War. He will always be remembered for his classic songs and deep, rich voice, a voice which spoke to a generation. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of What Happened. As always, please like, comment, and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can always be the first to know what happened. Until next time.
Clarinet. You know, keyboards, I don't say I play them, but I do play them.